Hi everybody, welcome to Caffeinated Knitting. No, it's Caffeinated Crafting. My name is Daniela, known as Caffeinated Gert around the interwebs. Welcome. Today is Sunday, July the 2nd. Tour de Fleece has started. I'm excited. It's been a busy little week work-wise, so not as much crafting, but I've got prizes for you guys today. And it should be fun, short and sweet. You can find this podcast, Caffeinated Crafting, on YouTube. You can find a Ravelry group on Ravelry, obviously. It's Caffeinated Crafting. You can find the blog, which is just all the episodes, and it's www.caffeinatedcraftingpodcast.blogspot.com. And you can find me on Etsy as Caffeinated Craft Arts, where I throw up some bags with woven panels and things, and basically things that I want to play and sew up or knit up or whatever, and then decide, I have way too many things already, and so I sell them periodically. Yeah, I think that's all the administrative goodness. Like I said, Tour de Fleece has started, so let's start there because I'm most excited about that. How about it? I did start a thread in the Ravelry group where we can post our updates in Tour de Fleece, like what you're spinning and stuff. I'd love to see pictures, so please share those with me. I will show you what I have finished so far. I went yesterday morning to my favorite local coffee shop. It's Poets, actually Poets South. It's Poets is like downtown on the square, and they've recently opened a smaller version, which is, I find, easier to get to as far as parking. It's closer to me. There's better lighting, so I really like Poets South better. But the coffee's all the same. It's good stuff. So went early yesterday, got there by about 8:45, and walked in with my spinning wheel, and the lady runs right over and she says, "Are you going to make a quilt?" And it was everything in my power. I was like, what? And she wasn't like a young lady. I mean, you would think she would have enough experience to know the difference between a quilt and like a sewing machine and a spinning wheel. But anyway, I was like, no, it's a spinning wheel. I'm going to make yarn. And she's like, oh, I've never seen one of those before. And I'm like, yeah, they're around. There's different ones and stuff. And she's like, oh, that's cool. But in my head, I just keep chuckling because, are you going to make a quilt? Sorry. That's probably mean of me, but it's just, really, have you never seen a Disney movie? There's always spinning wheels in Disney movies. But anyway, so I had some lovely coffee, had a lovely breakfast, and then I started spinning. What I spun first, dang it, I didn't bring my tag in here. Or my drink. I'll suffer. It'll be okay. The first thing I spun was, I had this lovely kit, I don't know, from Fat Cat Knits, where it's 5 ounces. Half of the 5 ounces was a beautiful fluffy bat, and I showed you guys that when I first started spinning it. And the other half was a braid that was coordinating. So I had already finished spinning the bat, and so yesterday I spun the braid portion, and then yesterday evening I plied them together, and they turned out like this. I'm in love with it. It's so pretty. I got 266 yards out of the 5 ounces. I haven't washed it yet, obviously. Right now it's mostly sport, so I'm thinking it'll probably fluff up to a DK-ish. I'm never very precise with what my spinning is. I kind of eyeball it, but I think it's going to be mostly DK. Maybe some worsted in spots, but it's beautiful. I just can't even say enough about how much I enjoyed spinning this. It's so cool to have a fun, because okay, if you have a fun bat, they're fun to spin and it's awesome. But when you spin the bat and you have your finished yarn, most of the time, unless you're going to knit like a fun animal, maybe a fun hat, what are you going to knit with that? It's just not, it's terribly fun, but not terribly practical. So to have the experience, the fun experience of spinning this really fun bat that had like little silk knurls and all little, you know, fun little things in it. But then you have that nice braid of just regular comb top to ply with it, which kind of subdues that whole fun, chunky, bits everywhere bat thing and makes a yarn that will actually be lovely to knit with. It's freaking brilliant. I have another one of these sets and I'm going to spin that very soon, sometime during the Tour de Fleece also, because I just love that. Love it a whole lot. So this one was the Kabibi colorway, K-A-B-I-B-I, and it's from Fat Cat Knits. Super brilliant, spun like butter, the color's beautiful. Go get you some is all I can say. Just go get you some. It's beautiful. So after I spun the braid, I had some lunch, still at Poets. We just kind of hung out there until early afternoon. There was 7 of us. Yeah, because Vicky came in the morning, and then she left when Ida came. So we kind of traded out seats a little bit, but eventually there were 7 of us, or off and on. They trickled in and out. So I started spinning this lovely bat that my friend Silly Fruit gifted me, I think last year, maybe it was the year before, but it was for my birthday. And it was a bat from Knit Picks, totally in my favorite color combination, and the bat's name was Gert. Do the people at Knit Picks know who I am? Because it's like they made this for me. So I spun this all, you know, spun it all up, and then I chain plied it to keep the colors together, because it was kind of like a loop bat, you know, where it would change from one color to the next kind of thing as the bat went in. It was like, it wasn't like a whole piece, like a bat. It was like a loop bat that has the where it unrolls and you can spin it. I don't know how to describe that. Go look up of course, let me say, it was like a loop bat in that it did that with the color changing. It was not like a loop bat in how it spins. Now this is fine. It actually, I like the end result, but the spinning of it was really fuzzy. I think it's some merino and maybe it was silk. I'm not sure, but it has like the white pieces in like you would get from silk or bamboo. And whatever the white stuff is was fuzzy. I mean, it was all over my clothes. When I finished spinning this, I lint rolled myself, and it took like the lint rollers like this big, and I had to undo the little wrap papers 3 times to get all the lint off, all the fuzz off of myself. It was ridiculous. I mean, fiber always, you always end up with some fiber on you when you spin. That's just the way it is, but I've never had that much. I mean, it was all over me. But anyway, so the spinning of it was not as nice as a loop bat, but the color transition is very much like a loop bat. And the prep was similar in how it unrolls, I'll say that. But the end result is beautiful. It's a beautiful yarn. Check that out. It goes from like the sea glass to turquoise to brown to this green. It's like I'm hanging out at the beach. I love it. I love it. So here's what I got. And this is 100, it was 44 ounces. I got 140 yards, and it's plumper because I did a chain ply. And so once it's washed, I'm thinking it'll be like a nice worsted. And I'm pretty darn happy with it. It's gonna make a nice cowl or hat, or it'd be a cool toy, although I don't know that I'd waste it on a toy because I really like how it looks. Pretty, right? It'll look great. So those are my 2 finished spins so far for Tour de Fleece. Not bad for one day. Now, yesterday I did spinning. Today it's sleepy time already. Today I wound the Fat Cat's knits off the bobbin onto the Nitty Knotty, and then I chain plied the knit picks and wound that off. It was quite a lot. And so I haven't actually like spun anything new yet today, but it's early in the day. It's 2 o'clock, and as soon as I finish this, then I will get to spinning something. Haven't decided what yet. I have 2 finished knit objects this week. Don't get too excited, they're not big. I finished a grandma's favorite dishcloth, and I'm using up scraps, which is why it's multicolored. I had this much left of the red and white, and then decided to use this lovely yellow, green, and red to finish it up. This is for me, for my kitchen. I don't care if they match, they're useful, and I still think they're pretty. And I knit this one as in, you cast on 2, and then you knit in the front and the back at the beginning of each row until it gets as wide as you want, and then I slip knit at the beginning of each row until it's small again. And that's what I did with this one. However, next time, I like the look of, and I can show you this because it's free. It's a free pattern that I found. It's Grandma's dishcloth, and it's a variation of Grandmother's favorite, and I think it says it's Grandmother's second favorite. And it is by, it says Pretty Nitty Jewelry Designs, but that's not the name that was on it. PJ Allen, PK Jewelry on Ravelry. And her version is a little more symmetric, and it has the little yarn over holes for a little design on the edge, like that. So the next one I cast on, I'm going to use this particular pattern because, like this designer, I like for it to be symmetrical, and I think the little yarn overs add a nice little border. And the next few I'm knitting won't be for me, so I want them to be prettier. For me, I don't care. I mean, yes, it'd be nice if it looks nice, but for me it's more of a functionality thing, whereas if they're a gift, I want them to look special. Therefore, I'm going to use an actual pattern instead of just making a go. I also finished the Christmassy one that had the extra petals. Remember last week I was counting and I'm like, oh, I've already got 2 more than I'm supposed to. So I just sewed it up, and here it is, which made this one a little wonky as well. Next time I'm going to count my petals instead of just willy-nilly knitting. I'm just having a good time. I just kept knitting those petals. And also, next time I'm going to not knit it for me, so gotta be careful, make it look good. I'm going to knit the next few for my mother-in-law as a gift, because her birthday's coming up, and I'm afraid if I don't go ahead and get those done, they won't get done in time, because, you know, that's how it works. So this one is also scrappy. It looks kind of Christmassy. Once again, I had this left over, then used the rest, this and the red to kind of go with it, which is how I ended up with this much red and knit this one. The pattern for the petal dishcloth is Petal Dishcloth by Hazel Schrock. And I did go in and add it to my project page this morning because I didn't realize, or I don't know, it didn't dawn on me to, I don't know, I always keep my Ravelry project page updated and everything current, but for some reason over the last 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I haven't done anything to it. I didn't put new projects in. I had stuff that was already finished that wasn't even in there. I have no idea what the heck I was thinking. If maybe I've just been busy doing other things. I don't know. But anyway, so I did update all my Ravelry project page. So the Grandma's Dishcloth is linked, but I did make a note that I did not do the pretty yarn overs in that particular set. And the petal dishcloth is also linked. And it was interesting when I went in to put the project in for the petal dishcloth, I had knit that dishcloth back in 2011. See, I knew I liked that one. So I had already knit it before with success, and you just have to pay attention and not knit too many petals. Don't get carried away, and don't forget to do your yarn overs for your increases. That's kind of important too. The only other thing I worked on this week is my socks by, I'm using the pattern by Mina Phillips, the Avenues, and the yarn is by Misty Mountain Makers. It's her halfling base in the Sunfingers colorway. Now, I mentioned the first time I bought some of her yarn that she does have a podcast. It's Down the Hobbit Hole, so go check her out. She's super cute, and she's either in or outside of Knoxville, so she's out in East Tennessee, sort of kind of local for me. She's local to my favorite closest LYS. I hate that my favorite closest LYS is all the way in Maryville, but it's like an hour-and-a-half drive to go to my favorite local LYS. But anyway, you get what you get these days, I guess. It makes it worth traveling, though. I mean, it's a nice area to visit. I have friends there, and it's not like a bad thing. I just do love that store, though. Anyway, it's Hook and Needle, in case you didn't hear my gushing last time. If you're in the Maryville area, go check them out. So, the Avenues. And I love how that kind of spreads the yellow out from the little bursts. This is what the back of the sock looks like. So this is what it would look like if you were knitting it stockinette. And I love the bit of pattern. These are going to go to Aiden, I think. We will see. I'm trying to decide what to do about size for Aiden socks. I might just knit them to fit Sam, and then Aiden can wear them for a while. Surely. And this is riding around in my robot Kiki Boo bag from that Denise from Knitting Den. She has Kiki Boo bags, and I got it from her a long time ago. It's one of the bags I like to use when I'm knitting for my manfolk, because there's robots, so that way I know it's for them. Okay, the only other thing we have is prizes. And speaking of prizes, I have meant to say the last 2 podcasts, and I keep forgetting. Those of you that don't hang out in the Ravelry group probably are wondering what the heck ever happened to the Neon April prizes, right? Because I didn't draw for prizes on the podcast. I did draw for prizes and do random number generator, and I posted the winners in the Ravelry group, and they were claimed. Because I had that month of no time and no podcasting. So, and I didn't want to wait to draw prizes that long. So I just did it in the Ravelry group, rather than wait until I finally podcasted again. So for those of you that are not frequent hangouters in the Ravelry group, the winners did get drawn and posted, and they did receive their prizes, and I think they were happy. So today, I went ahead and drew names because I have a hard time doing it on camera. I'm sorry. I'm just not that coordinated. So we had 15 entries. It was entries 2 through 16. And the prizes are this set from Backyard Fiberworks. Backyard Fiberworks. This is Meadow Light. Oh, no. Sorry. The base is Meadow Light. and the base is merino nylon and cashmere. The top one is willow, and this one is orchid, and they're going to look beautiful together. And the other prize is a one-hit wonder from Plucky. It's their Bello worsted base. It's a beautiful aqua, and it's 200 yards. Alright, so I did random number generator, and the Plucky was drawn for first. It was won by post number 7, Simple Knitter Mom. She knit the Union Square socks, and she did them out of Desert Vista Dye Works. Some nice stripy yarn, and they're super pretty. Go check them out. And this set was won by post number 13, who is Opera Diva 25, and she knit the Open Skies hat, which also turned out really pretty. So thank you all for participating in the knit along. Opera Diva 25 and Simple Knitter Mom, please send me a PM on Ravelry with your address so I can send you your prizes. Yeah. I am going to go spin, I think, because it is Tour de Fleece and that's what you do. And get this uploaded, and I think that's it. Short and sweet, right? You guys have a great week. With any luck, I will podcast next Sunday, and if not, then I will see you shortly after. Toodles! Bye-bye.